the moment that you start waking up for yourself versus waking up for other people will be the day that will be, that's when you start seeing your life change. A lot of people have dreams that they had 9-to-5 jobs too. So when they had those 9-to-5 jobs, they get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. They get up and they don't get up until it's time to go to work. And when I'm saying they, I'm only saying they because I've mastered how to set out time for myself first before I give 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours to another person's dream. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean is if I had work at 8 o'clock in the morning, that might mean that you need to get up around like 5 or 6 to work on your dream first. Then go get those hours. Then go get those hours to somebody else's dream. But a lot of times what people do is they have work at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning and they don't wake up till 8:30 and then get on work just to get to work on time. If you get to work on time.
3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing. That's it. This is the AMAZIN Podcast. And we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right. Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode of the AMAZIN Podcast. I'm your host, Henry Amazing, and on this episode, we have a very special guest. This guy's a momentum speaker, an educational consultant, just an all-around great guy. When he speaks, man, well, actually, I'm not even gonna ruin it for y'all. I'm gonna just let y'all get the experience firsthand. So, Malik, go ahead, introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about what you do.
Man, first and foremost, bro, I want to say that that intro is kind of hard, man. It's funny how the universe works because yesterday I was talking to my OG and he was telling me he was talking to me and I told myself I saved it in my draft too because I didn't want to post it on Twitter. But it's funny that your podcast is an amazing podcast because I actually forgot that May 1st came this quick, and I told myself that I said, man, we was talking about arguing, and I was like, man, I don't need to go back and forth with people unless they're amazing at what they do. Ooh. And I told myself that's how I'm gonna act. I told myself, I said, now I already don't like to argue, but when I do argue, it's gonna have I'm gonna spin that on somebody who's amazing at what they do. If you're not great at what you do or you're not amazing at what you do, I'm not even going back and forth with you. I'm okay, and I'm gonna go on about my business. So just hearing amazing so that much in the intro, man, kind of got me turned. So I'm kind of glad you played that. But yeah, man, I'm Malik. I grew up in North Jackson, Mississippi.
Shout out North Side. Shout out.
Most definitely. I grew up in North Jackson, Mississippi, and Delray Beach, Florida. I live in Nashville now. I graduated from Fisk University, where I got a degree in English, and now I serve as an educator. And my goal is to be the biggest educational advocate in the world. I want to be renowned, internationally renowned with it. So that's a little bit about me, and they'll learn a little bit more about me as the podcast goes.
Yeah, so let's start off because, I want to start with your days at Fisk because I know you were a student athlete. I believe you were on the basketball court. And, I've seen a couple clips. You nice with it. So, how did you make that shift from student athlete to, what you do now with speaking and just the impact, just all that? How did you make that transition?
To be honest with you, man, it wasn't even hard. Because I'm gonna say I don't even use the word hard. It wasn't even challenging. The reason why I say it wasn't challenging is because it was something I was always good at in terms of talking. I just didn't know that this is what God's plan was for me. So at Fisk University, I played basketball, and just like any other athlete who gets recruited to play any sport, their goal is to go professional with it. Well, majority of them. I feel like if you're not trying to go professional with it, then why are you doing it? But anyway, I played at Fisk University for 4 years. I was a team captain. And but the switch over wasn't too hard because every team I played for, I've always served as a team captain. I was always the one who was held accountable first. I was always the voice of the team. I always had a personal relationship with every teammate that I played with. So it was just, It wasn't hard at all. The transition was hard. It was just something I was good at. I just turned the strength into a business.
What's up, everybody? I know you're enjoying the episode. I want to give a shout out to Cooper De Niro. This is his new song, Backsliding. It's our song of the week. Enjoy.
You can go wherever you want to, as long as you stay away from me. Stay away from me. Cause ain't no telling what I'm gonna do if I see you, so stay away from me. Please stay away from me. I said I wanna stay away, but I'm lying. Promise, baby, I'm not in my right mind. If you text me one more time, I'm pulling up now. But you can't blame me for how I feel right now.
All right, let's get back to the show. Tell us about Aspire, because I see, you're one of the lead facilitators with them. So, how did that start? And, what does Aspire do?
Man, so that's a good question, man. So going to what Aspire does, Aspire, we're an educational consulting company. Well, actually, we're a human development company now. We elevated ourselves. We took the next step. So we're a human development company that specializes in highly interactive activities that's geared towards people's dreams and goals. And we run those, and we run that through social emotional learning, seminars, workshops, and highly interactive presentations.
Man, that's incredible. Just because it's the focus of it. I guess we say it's the focus for me.
Yeah.
It's just interesting because when I think back to when I was in school, whether it was, K through 12, or even in undergrad, and people would come speak to us, I don't think, of course, there have been some motivational speakers, but the aspect, y'all's focus, that's different.
Most definitely. It's funny you say that because I was a kid. And I just always wanted to make sure that I wasn't what I didn't like growing up, man. I was the kid that, and like you said, from K through 12th grade and all the way to high school. I was the kid that when we had speakers come in, I was gonna do either two things. I was gonna sit in the front so I can crack jokes. No, matter of fact, I'm not sitting in the front. I'm gonna sit in the back so I can crack jokes, or I'm gonna sit in the back so I can go to sleep. If I'm sitting in the front, that's because I'm probably going to try to sneak up, ease about the class. I'm going to the bathroom, my stomach hurt. And I sit in the bathroom and be on my phone all day. Just because a lot of people that came in when I was coming up, used to just come in and talk about themselves. So when I go in and speak to people, I want to make sure that I'm getting to know them too. When I leave different speaking engagements, I leave, not only do I leave with a paycheck, but I leave with knowledge of who I spoke to. So I think that's very important. And because it's very important because when you go in and you talk, this don't even go for people who aspiring to be speakers, but just in natural conversation, when a person understands that you care, then you got their full respect and you have their full attention. So,
man, that's factual. So now that I know, you all focus on, I guess before it was, people that have big dreams and big goals. What would you say, or what's one question that you ask people that has them rethinking what they thought they knew about their own ambition or their own goals and stuff?
I tell them. So one thing I like to tell them is I like to see how they day go first, and what I mean by that is their daily schedule, because that'll tell me about you, what you do on a regular basis, Monday through Friday, from sun up to sundown. That'll tell me about yourself, and I tell people all the time, because you learn so much in those things. For example, one of the things that I get out of that when people tell me what they do every day, and I realize is that the things you do the most, or the things that you get lost in the most, are oftentimes that's where your strength lies. And then I also tell people who have dreams, that for other people will be the day that will be, that's when you start seeing your life change. A lot of people have dreams that they have 9-to-5 jobs too. So when they had those 9-to-5 jobs, they get up at 8:00 in the morning. And they don't get up until it's time to go to work. And when I'm saying I'm only saying they because I've mastered how to set out time for myself first before I give 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours to another person's dream. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean is if I had work at 8 o'clock in the morning, that might mean that you need to get up around like 5 or 6 to work on your dream first. Then go get those hours. Then go get those hours to somebody else's dream. But a lot of times what people do is they have work at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning and they don't wake up till 8:30 and then get on work just to get to work on time. If you get to work on time. So I tell people, so I ask people what they do, like what's your daily schedule? Because I'm at the end of the day, I'm a consultant. I'm an educational consultant. So I have to ask those type of questions to get to know about you and to help solve the problem.
And I said, like that was powerful because, like I know me, I'm the person that has the 9 to 5, but also has my own just goals and dreams and stuff I'm working on business wise. And it's interesting because you're absolutely right, because I remember at first that used to be like the person you described that woke up just in time to get to work. Like I used to do that. And as you said, the shift changed when I started waking up a little bit earlier. Really, it's that book, The 5 a.m. Club. That's what made me start waking up earlier.
I got to tap into that.
Because the 5 a.m. Club is basically talks about how when you wake up earlier, you basically set that first hour, you set that for you. So, you do some physical activity to wake your body up. Then you meditate, and then, you meditate, and then you map out your day. Well, I guess in the book, it suggests you map out your day the night
That's
before.
what I do.
But, I mean, it don't matter when you map. Well, to me, it doesn't matter as long as you have a plan.
Most definitely.
And you have time for you.
Most definitely.
Because like you said, when you are on a job, you are essentially building someone else's dream. Mm-hmm. Even if you're working your job, it's still someone else's dream.
Most definitely.
So you gotta have that. You gotta set some time for you.
Yep. So like the way what my day looks like, man, I get up around, so Monday and Wednesday, Friday, that's how my day looks. So Mondays, I want to make sure I get cardio in. So Mondays I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I go play basketball with a group of older guys who run businesses. We'll start at 5:30. Then I get done around 7 o'clock and then I go boxing by 7:30. So I'm at the boxing gym by 7:30. And 7:30 I get it in with my two guys, Keith and KJ. We box. You remember KJ? He played for the Steelers with us. Yeah. So yeah, Ken. So we go box. So we boxing at 7:30. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I start playing basketball at the gym at 5:30 in the morning. Then I leave there and I get to the boxing gym by 7:20, 7:30. So we can start at 7:30. And then I come back, I read. Before I leave the house, I meditate. That's why you see like on my patio. That's why when I was talking about getting aligned with nature, like I got a yoga mat. I meditate. I don't meditate consistently though, but when I do map out my day, I make sure that I put meditation in there. But the natural stuff is getting up 4:30 in the morning, playing basketball, boxing, and then meditate. After that, I read. Then I make sure I pray that God protect me before I step out in the world of chaos. And then I go about my day. I go handle business. By that time, I'm 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of the average person. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. And it's like I'm laughing now because I'm just thinking back to like how I said, I know like personally when I didn't set time for myself to get myself aligned and take care of me before I went out into the world. It just felt like I was just all disheveled, like,
all over the place.
But when you put in that extra time and I call it choosing yourself, but when you choose yourself and really put that time in to put some focus on you and make sure that you take care of you, then it allows you to go out into the world more peaceful, more centered, and you're able, and I'd argue that you're able, like, especially if you go into a job, you're able to perform even better because, you have that, I'm going to edit that, but you're centered and your mind is like ready to go because it's had time to like warm up, you know, you had a little bit of physical activity, so it's ready to go. Like it's in its prime state.
Man, I be talking to myself. Like I learned that from my youngest brother. Like growing up, he's talk to himself. And growing up, he's be like, bro, that's weird. Weird. He'd go outside, you give him a stick, he'd go play by himself all day and talk to himself. And what I learned from just being around them more, we're older now, so like we're more understanding of each other now. And what I realized was like all great people talk to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just kind of like watch Jordan, like even like Jordan, he's talk to himself. Or it's just certain people that I see on a daily basis. I'm around a lot of professional athletes every day, and they'll do something, they'll miss a shot, and they be like, come on, man. And they talking to themselves. So what I got out of that was I play a game, man, that my OG Pat, he's actually the founder of Aspire. And he taught me something that I still do to this day. So I'm telling you, because I want you to do the same thing. And whoever's watching, hopefully they taking notes and they do the same thing. But he taught me to play one-on-one against myself. So what I mean by that, playing one-on-one against myself, is that a lot of times when we're growing, we get in a position where we're growing, but since we don't see the results right then and there, we don't feel like we're moving. But the way to break that down is to play one-on-one against yourself. What I mean by that is clearly, it's literally gonna look like this. Piece of paper or a board. I got a dry erase board in my room. You literally put old Henry on one side, new Henry on one side, put a line down the middle, and you put tally marks. But watch this though. The new thing that you want to do every day, like starting the day for yourself. So for example, your goals of the day may be wake up at 5 a.m. And you want to wake up at 5 a.m. because you used to wake up at what time? 8 o'clock in the morning. So when Monday hit, if you wake up at 5 a.m, new Henry gets a point. Old Henry don't get a point. Now watch this though. If you wake up at any time after 5 a.m, the time that you set out for yourself to be great, old Henry get a point. And at the end of the week, or however you want to measure it, the end of the week, I do mine by the end of the week because it's very measurable, and I'm big on the number 7. Like, side note, I'm gonna name my first daughter 7, or I'm gonna name my first son 7, because 7 is the number of completion. That's my number. 7 chapters in my first book, which y'all will hear about later on. But even going back to number 7, I measure mine by the week, 7 days in a week. You feel me? So on day 7, I put at day 7, I see what, because don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. So old Malik has some points too. But as long as new Malik got more points than old Malik, I won and I grew that week. You do that over the course of time, you're going to realize that you grew. Man,
I'm starting that. Like,
do it, man. Do it, man. I'm telling you, bro. And talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. I'm not going to curse on here, but like, I be telling myself, like, come on, Malik, like, come on, nigga, you that guy. Like, what you doing? Like, you BSing. I don't say I say the real word, but I'm like, come on, Malik, you BSing. Like, come on, man. I talk to myself, like, and I learned that. I used to think my little brother was weird. Everybody who know my little brother Makai would tell you, like, yeah, he was a little thrown off growing up, but he really was just misunderstood. He's taught himself. And he got one of the most strongest work ethics I know. So, like, I literally be telling myself, like, I try to start my day by 7 o'clock. The 4:30s and the 5:30s is just a plus now. But like I said, I try to be up and running and doing my thing at 7, like getting to where I'm supposed to be at 7, is because I told you, like, 7 is like that's my number. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't do it, if I'm still in the bed after 7, which it happens sometimes, I be cursing myself. I'm like, come on, Malik, like, come on, man, what you doing? So
man, it's just funny because, like, now, well, everything's funny to me, but like, I know, like, I guess a song that really get me like hype is like Moneybag Yo song, Me Right, because that's what I've had to realize. Because I believe, comparison is a thief of joy, and when you compare yourself to others, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because you're a one-of-one, you're a masterpiece created by God Himself.
Talk to him. We preaching on Saturday.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, like, it's true though, because wow, the energy shift I just felt in my body. For sure. That's called momentum. That's why I say I'm a momentum giver. That's why I don't refer to myself as a motivational speaker. I refer to myself as a momentum giver. I'm already knowing that you handle your business every day. So watch this. I come in, I'm like, all right, Henry, you already got your stuff laid out for the day. So now that you got your stuff laid out for the day, this is what you do next.
Instead of me saying, hey, Henry, man, you can do it if you put your mind to it, man. You got to get up, man. You got to wake up. I don't even got to tell you to wake up. Because guess what? If you don't do what you got to do, bro, the world gonna wake you up. The universe gonna wake you up.
Exactly.
So I ain't gotta wake you up. The universe gonna wake you up later on down the line if you don't do what you got to do. So I give off momentum. I'm like, all right, look. So when you do wake up, this is what you do next. Because a lot of people get up at 5 o'clock. Like, with all due respect, like I was homeless before, but like homeless people get up at 5 in the morning.
Wait, you were home? Like,
for sure.
What? I guess. Yeah, I don't know if you want to like, but
I overcame it so I could talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I overcame it so I could talk about it. You feel me? So like, yeah, I was homeless in high school. Before I moved, yeah, I was homeless. I was going to Lanier High School, living in my mom's Jeep Liberty. Michaela slept in the passenger side of the front seat. My mom slept in the driver's seat.
Yeah. And
me and my little brother and my little cousin slept on the back seat. And we had black trash bags in the backpack with all our clothes in it. Uh-huh. And you familiar with Anderson United Methodist? You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
And
it's by my apartment where I stay in now.
Exactly. So this is the thing I have to tell people all the time. It's the in between is the most dangerous place you can be as far as a person. That's why I love that you say. I love that you really I love that you dismantle the word average, because it's literally like, so when the in between is so dangerous, because in the middle you just there. But watch this though. Homeless people get up at 5 in the morning, and successful people get up at 5 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And successful people sometimes had late nights. Homeless people had late nights. So when we were homeless, we didn't go to sleep. We couldn't go to sleep till like 11 or 12, because when we parked our car at Anderson to sleep in that parking lot, we had to make sure that the guy who was the security over the parking spot was on break until the next shift. The next shift was at 6 in the morning. So we had to be up by at least 5 o'clock, hit that gas station right there. Mm-hmm. My mom had food stamps, so we would get the gallons of water and take wash up, and we'd be the first people at school, so we wouldn't miss breakfast. You feel me? So that's why I had to tell people all the time, like, the way things work is I find myself now getting up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, going to sleep at 11, 12 at night. Before I had structure, I wasn't going to sleep till about 3, 4 in the morning, because that's when I was the most creative.
Right.
But I tell people all the time that it's very dangerous when you're in that middle, because you got the homeless people and the successful people getting up at 5 in the morning. Then you got the average people who are complacent, who just get up at whatever time they want to throughout the day and giving their hour to the next person.
Right. Yeah. And that, man, first off, I had no clue. And now that, like, I mean, I already had like a lot of respect, just for you, your family, especially,
Likewise.
But it just went to a whole nother level. Like, cause bro, I'm just
2.5 years. Two full school years, and then my 10th grade year, Thanksgiving break, my mom was just like, "Look, we got to get up out of there," because at first we was homeless, but it was just. But then that third year,
yeah,
that's when Jackson started getting critical in terms of. Yeah. That's when the crime rate was off the chain. So my mom was like, "Look, it can't be shootouts and robberies, and we in the car with all our stuff in." We got it. So my mom couldn't afford to move all of us. Michaela was Miss Lanier, so she stayed for that school year. Michaela was Miss Lanier and homeless.
All right.
Michaela was Miss Lanier, and the dresses and stuff she wore and all of that was like fresh out of trash bags, no ironing or nothing. Like Michaela, I swear to God, Michaela don't iron to this day, because she just so acclimated to not ironing, because we just had to get up and go. You feel me? That same year, we went to the state championship. When I played for Lanier my 9th grade year. I played varsity my freshman year. We went to the state championship. My little brother was going to Carsdale Middle School honor roll student. So, and I say all that to say not to brag or not to boast. But I say all that to say that like it was just it wasn't no excuses. We got up and did it, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous in that middle, though.
Yeah.
Dangerous in that middle.
And I'll say that's really like my whole thing. Because I realized, Grant Cardone, I think the 10X rule. One of the chapters is like how average is a failing formula. And when I read it, I don't know, it just did something to me because I was like, man, this is true. Like people really are out here just living average lives, and like, and again, to me, a person who goes to work and they work their job, they make their money, and then they come home, they provide for their family. That's not what makes them average. What makes them average is when they become complacent.
Most definitely.
Like,
I agree, bro. I agree.
Like, that's what makes them average.
I agree.
It's not them just having the job, because work, like, I believe in taking care of your family, doing what you got to do. But I believe in doing all that. But it's like, even just working your job, you don't have to be just the person that shows up for a paycheck. You can go to work and do your thing and perform at the highest level, no matter what you do. Whether you at Finish Line, selling sneakers, or you're in corporate America, doing whatever you do there. But it's just average. Average is dangerous. That's why I'm such a big average. I mean, I'm such an advocate for people, like, first realizing that they're amazing, because you are amazing. Because, again,
it's appreciated.
But it's like, when you know you're amazing and you start acting like it, your situation changes.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, I got affirmations on my mirror, bro. I got affirmations on my mirror, yellow sticky note. Yellow is my favorite color. It's a vibrant color, most vibrant color in the world. In my room.
Similar.
In my room.
Yellow is like my color now too, bro.
In my bathroom, bro. In my bathroom, man, I have affirmations on my wall. And one of my affirmations is, I get what I get because I live in beast mode. No lunch breaks. Like, I tell myself those things. Like, another one. So that's what one of them. Another one. So one of them says, I get what I get because I live in beast mode. And it says, thank you, God, at the bottom. Another one says, no lunch breaks. That's something that was inspired by one of my brothers who's incarcerated, and my late brother. And so I got the no lunch breaks. And then my little brother just added one that said, trust in God. And my mom, she has one that she's always told us, be better today than you were yesterday. And then the very last one that I wrote down on my wall, on my sticky note, says that I'm a predator. I catch my own food. A shark is my favorite animal. But I say all those things to say, like, those are my affirmations. And going back to you saying, like, you know yourself. So, like, I be telling myself, like, bro, you get what you get because you live in beast mode, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, tighten up. Go get it. And if it's not what I want, then I'm not even selling for it, because I'm a beast. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I tell myself those things, like, and sometimes, like, I may tell a person, and sometimes I ain't gonna lie, Henry, I might pop it sometimes. Like, sometimes I really tell people, like, bro, like, I woke up like this, bro. Like, you gotta tell yours, because guess what, bro? Nobody else gonna tell you. Like, exactly. You gonna tell it.
And that, bro, yes.
You gotta pop it, bro. You gotta pop it sometime, bro. You gotta pop it sometime, bro. You gotta pop it, because I'm telling you, bro, like, humble, bro. Like, I tell people all the time, bro. I lie to you not, I swear to God, I put all my people on game. So I'm gonna put you on game right now. And anybody who listening. Humble. Be humble according to God's definition, not according to man's definition. And what I mean by that is being humble according to God's definition is understanding that without God, you're nothing. You wouldn't have none of these things without God. Fearing nothing but God. That's what being humble means. Because what happens is people who walk the same ground as us, the same feet, the same shoes, bleed just like we do, they'll come up to you and say, hey, Henry, hey, you gotta be, hey, bro, I understand your podcast is called Amazing, and you want these people to be amazing and not this and that, but you got to be humble. Man, look, they're the same person that look in your eyes and will tell you be humble will go stand in line and pay $500 for some Yeezys.
Yep.
Will camp out at night to go pay $500 for some Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not about being arrogant, but it's just about understanding who you are and what you deserve. Like, you know how you got it. I mean, I don't know a person successful. And what I mean by success to me means just waking up and doing what you said you was going to do. So what I mean by that is the success that I look to, like the Jordans, the Kanye Wests, and the Jalen Ramses, and the guys who really popping what they do, doing what they doing, and really like talking the talk, walking the walk. those guys, like, you know how cocky, or not even, you know how arrogant you have to be to say, I'm gonna be the best, I'm gonna be the greatest basketball player in the world that the world has ever seen, and I'm gonna sell shoes and people gonna camp out for my shoes. You know how arrogant you have to be to not even make your varsity team your 10th grade, 9th grade year?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but still had those same goals. You know how arrogant you have to be to leave Nike because you like, look, I'm the greatest thing that ever happened in Nike. I'm gonna leave Nike and I'm gonna go to Adidas. But then I'm gonna go into Adidas and tell them, like, look, Adidas, I understand y'all got this nice little 3-stripe logo, but I don't even want y'all little whack logo on my shoes, on my apparel. Kanye West. You know how arrogant you gotta be to really leave Nike, come to Adidas, send a meeting with Adidas, say, look, I understand y'all got this 3-stripe. I understand y'all got this little flower, this nice little cute flower, but guess what? I don't want none of y'all stuff on I don't want none of y'all logo on my stuff, and it's still gonna be y'all highest paid shoe.
Exactly.
The highest paid Adidas shoe is what, Henry?
Is there
a Yeezy? You feel me? But watch this though. What gets me is people are really come to you and say, hey, bro, you gotta be humble. But then got a pair of Jordans on their feet. Like, do you understand what you just bought? You understand what you just paid for?
Right.
Jordan walked in, playoff game, Jordan walked into the I forgot who locker room he walked into, and asked him, like, who guarded me tonight? And what he finished with? I think he finished with about 50, something like that, something crazy like that.
I gotta go look at this story, man. Ooh,
please look it up. Everything I'm saying is factual. Like, everything I'm saying is factual. So, like, I'm saying that to say, bro, like, if you listening, pop it. I don't want to curse, man. I don't want to curse, but, like, pop it. Pop your stuff. Pop your stuff. Nobody gonna pop it like you. Make sure you humble according to God's definition and go out and get it. Jalen Ramsey play in the $30,000+ grill. But why don't talk the whole game? Jalen Ramsey don't even use his mouthpiece. He played with his mouthpiece out so he could talk trash. But guess what though? He gonna talk trash that whole game, say he the greatest, and then he might tweet something after the game like, thank you, God. All glory to God. God bless. You feel me? That's somebody who's humble according to God's word and not to man's word. So I just wanted to drop that gem. I ain't trying to preach today.
Bruh. I love it. This is exact, bruh. And I'll say it's funny because I expected like nothing less when when Mickey linked us, and then I like checked into like what you did, and just even that short conversation we had, I was like, oh, when we get in the lab, like he gonna
definitely
like,
bro, definitely. It's just something I'm passionate about, bro. Like, I'm passionate on giving off momentum, man. Like, anybody can make money, but not everybody can make an impact. So that's like my biggest thing. I want to make sure, like, my job, I feel like my job on earth while I'm still alive is to treat others as Christ would treat them, and just inspire, bro. Like, make an impact. Because if I lead a day, and that's why my camera guy, he be with me, and I posting the videos of me being in certain places, because if I lead a day, what left do I have on earth at the moment? I don't have kids right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend. So, like, if I lead a day, I have family, content, and I don't say friends. Like, if I feel like you're a close friend, you family. You know what I'm saying? So family and content. You know what I'm saying? So things like this. So that's why I appreciate you even having me on the podcast, because this is something that's gonna stick forever. This is something that's gonna be in certain places, in certain rooms that we not even been in before. So appreciate you again.
Thanks, man. Nah, thank you. But let's hop into Booked and Busy, because I saw you posted, and I saw you like collab with another like entrepreneur, dope person, Carrie.
She the real deal.
Carrie Nate. Definitely. You know now, I want you on the podcast.
Hey, we gonna do it,
bro. Because I'll say I've been like following her for like years. Like, and I love, because I've witnessed her like build her brand and then make pivot.
Bruh, she the real deal.
Bruh, like she's amazing. So shout out to you, Carrie Nate. I'm just putting you on notice. I mean, I'm probably gonna tag you.
Tag her. She the real deal. That's my dog. Like, that's my dog for real. Like, Kay Renee, that's my colleague. Quick story on how we met. We was in I got the Fisk in 2014. She's from Nashville. I came from Florida, and from the very first time I met her, she was different. Like she used to wear, her thing was bow ties at first. Like I'm talking about, she dapper every day. She dapper, new bow tie every day. And one day I got up with her. One day I met her. I met up with her, and I was like, hey, I wanted to start a business with her. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew she was just so business minded. I'm like, I don't know what business I want to do, but I want to take on, but I just want her to be a part of it. So I think the first thing I was meeting with her about maybe even doing like a clothing line or something. But then she was like, I'm working. I just got a sewing machine. I'm working on my clothing line. Da da da. So I was like, okay, cool. But she was business like, and I told myself like, she business like minded. I'm business like minded. We're gonna run into each other again on some business. So she, man, that's like, she like, man, hustler, man, like big time. So shout out to Kay for real.
But yeah, man, go ahead. Tell us about Booked and Busy. Like, what is that? What's the goal? Like, we ready.
Booked and Busy is a book club for the youth in Nashville. We started up last year. We just did Nashville. We actually got a lot of like buzz from different supporters that people wanted to sign their kids up from different states and different areas. But we just kind of started off with Nashville first, so we can kind of master that. But what it started like, Kay is one of my close friends. She's one of my close friends. She's the creative director for my whole book. So anything in there that you see that you like, graphic wise, it hurt. The pictures in there hurt. So I was just talking to her one day. I was talking to her and my mom, and I used to just talk about her because she works with kids too. And I was telling them like, bro, literature's a lost art out here in Nashville. I had in the program I used to work for a while back. I had second graders and third graders who couldn't tie their shoe. I had fifth and sixth graders who couldn't give me 5-sentence paragraphs, and that hurt me. Like, couldn't read. Like, they could read, but it was like broken up to the point where I would have to read for the other kids to understand. And man, I was just talking to her one day, like, bro, because she's from here. She's from Nashville. I was telling her, I'm like, man, like, has literature always been a lost art like that out here? And she's very understanding. She's very supportive, and she listens too. And I was talking to my mom about it, and my mom, she's one of those people that if I come up with a problem, she's like, what you gonna do about it? That's how my mom is. And man, Kay hit me up one day like, hey, I got the perfect idea. Kay got all the ideas too. That's why she's my creative director. And Kay was like, we should do a book club for the youth in Nashville. And I'm like, bet, what we gonna call it? She was like, oh, I got an idea. And one of the names was like Booked and Busy. I was like, boom, that's what we going with. So we went with Booked and Busy. And we had the books for the kids, and what we would do was at first we were just reading the chapters with the kids and just talking about it, but then we just kind of made it more interactive. So it was a Zoom call with a bunch of kids because of COVID, of course. And within that, we would tell the kids, like, okay, read these couple of pages, we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it. So what we would do was whatever the pages discussed or whatever the chapter discussed, we would have activities that was geared toward that chapter. We would discuss it. And we would just talk, like have an open discussion. And it was just really cool. So we about to start back up probably this month or June maybe, but we kind of took a break because the kids already been kind of locked in and programmed on a laptop, like with the virtual school. And so we just kind of wanted to get them a break a little bit. So that's how we started. Like, man, we just kind of, me and Kay just, boom, like just clash like that.
Shout out to y'all. Cause that's first off, again, just gotta give Kay her props, because when I saw it, Booked and Busy, I was like, that is a very like clever name, because it's gonna automatically pique your interest, because that's what we, that's the phrase we like saying, we booked and busy.
Most definitely.
But for y'all to flip it and make it like educational, it's so innovative.
For sure.
Let's hop into your book, because I know it's coming soon. I'm actually like excited for your book. Man. Go ahead, let us know what about.
Man, so the book is called The Book of Vision: A Conversation with Malik. And I didn't come up with the title of the book until I finished the whole book. But I knew I knew before I wrote the book that the book was going to talk about vision, because I was spoken at over 20 colleges across the country, over 15 to 20 high schools across the country. I work in middle schools every day. So I have a big background in terms of speaking at educational institutions. So, but throughout that, what I talked about was vision. I talked about vision throughout every place that I've spoken at. I always talk about vision first before I go into anything, because vision is the reason why me and you even talking right now on this podcast. And I say that to say, just going back with like how I even started working in education and being an educational soul and being a public speaker, because how that started was back in college. I graduated. I had never done an internship in my life. So when graduation was creeping up, I was getting nervous. And I was getting nervous not because like other people was getting nervous because they knew they weren't gonna see their friends anymore. I was nervous because I was talking to my roommate like, JR, what in the world are we gonna do? None of us did an internship or whatever. And so what I did was, man, I graduated in May 7, 2018. I graduated, and the day I graduated, the people called my mom. I mean, they called me while I was at it was around this time. They called me like, hey, look, you got 30 minutes to get everything out your dorm room, or they gonna find you. So I'm like, nah. So I leave my graduation. And I talked about this in the book. I leave my graduation dinner where all my family is at a rooftop downtown in Nashville. I take my sister's red Mustang, my sister's red BMW to back to the school. Mm-hmm. I pack all my stuff. By the time I get up packing my stuff, my mom and my family, they all at the school for me to load my stuff up. And before we loaded everything up, my mama said, you gonna stay with me? My mom was like, you gonna stay out here in Nashville, or you gonna come back to South Florida with me? Out of fear, I said, I'm gonna stay in Nashville. She was like, all right. She gave me a hug, kissed me on my forehead, and was gone. Mm. And I was just like, bro, what in the world did I just sign up for? Mm-hmm. And so once that happened, man, I had $400 saved up to my name. And I had $400, but luckily the apartment complex that I moved into when I first got out of college, they did like this deal for like postgraduates. So I was able to get in, and then end up finding a job in education where I work with where I was working with at-risk youth. So I talk about that because that vision right there kind of started. That was a little small piece of how I started doing what I'm doing today. Right. So I realized, like, in that book, I talked about that in the book, and I talked about how to own your vision, because at the end of the day, I told myself one day, this is what I want to do. And then I set out different goals. I set out different tactics. I learned different things about myself that allowed me to get to where I am today. And I talked about all of that in the book. Chapter 1 through 7 talks about, like, one of my chapters is called, it talks about like how to own your vision. And it has, I'm big on interaction, and I like books that you can write in, and hopefully, like I said, I hope people taking notes from this podcast, because I like taking notes. Like my wall, and I'm gonna show you, like my wall in my room look like a laboratory. You know what I'm saying? Because I have so much stuff, and so I have activities in the book that kind of helps you, so you can see these things. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you see it, it can happen. Like research says that people who make their dreams visible, 80% of people who make their dreams visible tend to be more likely successful than those who don't. So I know that kind of sounds jumbled up. So just to reword that, research says that those who make their goals visible are 80% more likely for their dream to happen versus those who don't. Just like if you go into a grocery store with a list, 8 times out of 10, you're gonna come out with everything that you had on that list. The other 20% is probably because one is not in stock, or two, they just don't have it at all. Versus going in without a list, you just all over the place. You ever went grocery shopping without a list? You hungry, so you grabbing quick stuff. But when you go in with a list, you feel like a Superman. Thanks. So I'm just super. So in the book, I talk about vision, and I have certain activities in there too, so you can kind of write them down. You can kind of look into the book, and teachers can use it as a curriculum too.
Bro, that is amazing. Actually, I already know we have to do a part 2 to this.
For sure. We're gonna do a part 2.
Man.
We're gonna do a part 2 for sure. Like, especially when the book drop, like, and I'm gonna make sure you got the book in your hand signed. I'm gonna do it big though. I'm gonna have a book release party, so I'm sure I'm gonna make sure you get out here for that.
Bro, I know I'm early, but I'm already
peeling. For sure. When that RVP link hit, you gonna get one, bro. Like, I promise you. So,
and I want to thank you for coming on the podcast, for dropping those gems, man. Because I'm probably gonna edit out them other.
Man, keep
Bro,
Everything
right,
organic.
actually.
Everything organic.
Yeah. But thank you for coming in. Before you go, I have to ask you the question that I ask every single guest, and it's this. Well, of course, you're on the AMAZIN Podcast where we interview amazing people doing amazing things. So my question for you before you go is, what makes you amazing?
What makes me amazing? Man, well, I can't even put that in the sentence. Like it's different thing. Like that's just going back to me saying like just me just popping my pop. So you just asked me. So now I'm about to really just, you feel me? So what makes me amazing is just like people like to throw around the word different, but like I'm just I don't know how to just to sum everything up. I'm that guy. That's what I tell myself. I'm that guy. Like my goal is to, like I said, make impact. I'm a momentum giver. I'm the voice of the youth. That's what made me amazing. I'm the voice of the youth. I'm just, I don't even know how to put it all. I don't even know how to sum everything up. Like if I told you what made me amazing, man, that'd be part 2. So like, it's just, what makes me amazing is that I can learn from everybody. I'm understanding. I'm a vocal leader. I'm active in the community. I'm the voice of the youth. I'm the voice of my people. That's just what made me amazing. I mean, I'm just, I tell myself every day, like I'm a beast. I wake up every day like, what's next? I got a shark tattooed on my body, and it says opportunity in blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I'm a shark, man. I'm a shark. Like, I'm just you feel me? Like I got a lion tattooed on my arm. You know what I'm saying? It's just, in life, you are the lion or you gazelle.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.